What's they said? I heard a nice country song on TikTok.
That's not the very end of it. That was kind of cool.
What's cool is that intro is like...
What's cool is that was written by my dad.
Yeah, it's like the middle of an actual song. Like we fast forwarded and took apart. It was it's a way longer. It was a way longer of a build up. But I was like, no, we need to have a part where it turns into the show. It's like a it kind of sounds like it.
Turns in.
It's a good show opening, for our 44 downloads a week. I want to keep this here and then watch. Yunk goes right down.
You gotta tighten it. Does president know that? I don't know.
Yeah. Nothing matters. That's all in the spring.
Oh yeah. Mine's just perfect.
Was that a good country song you heard over there on the docks?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
No.
See you guys later.
I actually forgot it, so I was I shouldn't have brought it up because I don't remember it.
So that's red
you ever
now?
Do that?
That's red now?
You ever, yeah.
That's like a light red to me. It's
No,
really
it's still
light.
red.
It's like pink.
Well, yeah, it's like pink. Reddish pink.
Got the little record button on the audio board guy. And yeah, I think it could be green.
Yeah, but red's
go time.
But red's record, so
red. Yeah, but I think it scares people in the studio. They look.
Maybe
at
the light should not be on at all, and then when you hit it, then it turns
check.
Red.
Yeah,
or a green for go. I don't know.
Who knows what things are?
Back to the drawing board.
Back to the. All right, don't take too hard of steps. You're gonna move everything. Everything's gonna fall down.
You ever bring something up and you're like, oh, dude, so, and then as you're bringing it up, you're like, oh, I don't remember actually how this goes.
Yeah, just that kind of happened to me before we started.
Never mind. I don't.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Hey, dude, Amanda Knox was on Rogan's pod. Did you watch that documentary on Netflix? It's a good one.
No.
A lot of people watched it. Everyone but Cory.
I don't know. What is it?
This lady, she Jordan, was she taking a class in Italy? Amanda Knox, was she taking a class in Italy? Yeah, she was going to school in Italy, and she had a roommate, and so, they just lived together, and then one day when she was gone, she's with her boyfriend in Italy. She's at her boyfriend's place, she's got the alibi and everything, and he's like, yeah, she was there, and then later, I don't know if they found the body or someone else did. I think someone else did, and then they, came home, and the detectives and everyone were already there at the house, and she was murdered, her roommate, and Italy whoever in the media just spun a thing. They're like, they just made up a story that Amanda Knox, had a disagreement or whatever, had an argument in the relationship with her roommate, and she murdered her roommate. And then they're like, look, your DNA's all over the apartment. She's like, I live in this apartment. So then, I don't know, there's all these clickbaity things. It's lesbian or whatever, all this stuff. They're just making it all up. And then just because she's one of those, not really a resting bitch face, but just kind of a monotone look. She's not and then also she's shook by the whole situation. A friend, her roommate, just got murdered, and so they kept taking that in the media, her stone face, and being like, look, she doesn't even care. She's got no emotions. She wasn't bawling. They're like, women are really emotional. Women are usually hysterical. We should just, if she's not hysterical, then it must mean that she murdered this woman. So. Yeah, I don't know. All this stuff shows that she didn't do it. She had an alibi. She's with a dude, and then they interrogated that guy. I think she said it was 3 days, 40 or 50 hours of interrogation. I think it was both of them, and they finally got that guy to say, and because you could get anything out of a person and turn it any which way.
Yeah.
You talk to somebody that long, and her boyfriend was like, yeah, I guess you could say that when I was sleeping, I didn't know for sure if she woke up while I was sleeping, left, killed somebody, came back, and went back to bed. And it's like, you could do that, dude, for like infinite amount of alibis. Yeah, like that should never have like gone along and won in the court, but like she served time and stuff, and but the Amanda Knox, that whole story is interesting. So if you haven't seen that Netflix documentary, that's cool to check that out. And then also she adds like even way more info in a 3-hour conversation with Rogan, and but Rogan's chugging ivermectin the whole time, so it's kind of hard to focus. Yeah. You know, I'm always thinking about politics. I can't focus on a different conversation. I'm always like, man, ivermectin, you know. But
Iversectin.
Ivor
gotta put something in my ass.
Hey, you ever mectin?
You ever met him?
There's a Mectin left tackle in the Jets right now, blocking out there for Zach Wilson.
Mectin.
What's his name?
Ivor.
They might be like Ivor. It's Bon Ivermectin.
I think it is. Yeah.
Bon Ivermectin. I don't even know what Bon Iver. Iver? I don't know how they say it. How do the cool kids say it? Bon Iver.
They say it. Boner Veer.
Boner Mectin.
Boner Veer. Boner beer.
Dude, she's got some cool. Apparently, Amanda Knox, like in prison, did a lot of translating.
Oh, nice.
They're in Italy, and she knows enough Italian and English, and then she would even help, like, because she already has, like, I guess like nobody else in her prison, whatever the fuck, knew that shit. But she would like take the translating books and like help like the one Vietnamese person there or Chinese or whatever, China woman.
So do they not even know who actually murdered?
Oh yeah, dude. So then they finally, after she got out and they did like more stuff.
How much time did she do?
I don't remember. I don't know. It couldn't have been too long. I think it was like maybe 2 years or something. I don't can't look it up right now.
But I've never been in prison. I'm like, that's nothing.
But she kept trying to say, she's like, I'm not trying to glorify it, and I hate that when people do that. But then she was talking about how like quickly you find like some of your hustles, and like she was great at translating, so she just helped that way with people. And then she also talked about how she came up. She's now a podcaster, and she's trying to help and open the eyes to like people who have been wrongly convicted, and then I don't know, gives a shit. You know, who cares? You know, people doing good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably never watch it.
Well, it was like a big media thing, and I've seen it a few times on like social media. Amanda Knox. People make like all these comedians are just making Amanda Knox jokes. I'm like, that's how you know like something is just like, all right, yeah, this is like a Tiger King thing. It's just like everyone's fucking talking. I guess I gotta check this out. Yeah. And so whenever that was, Jordan and I checked it out. It's like a perfect example of just like I don't know, how do they never convict OJ and then just completely, totally fuck up. Like, I couldn't believe the thing. They're like, there's DNA on this. And she's like, I live there. I did the dishes.
Yeah.
Of course I touched every dish. And then
she's like, I squirted every room.
Yeah. She's like, they're like, we found a dildo in
found a dildo.
Looked like it might have been your room and it had your DNA on it.
We found a dildo in her pussy with your DNA on it. It's like, we shared.
I didn't even know. I never told her she could do that. And then you got mad and killed her.
Yeah. And then you
stabbed her with the dildo.
And you found it.
There was even underneath her roommate's dead body was a pillow with the murderer's cum on it.
Oh,
and
like the
they
real murderers?
and they overlooked that. This is like in the initial, and that's why the documentary came out. And then finally, like because of documentaries and so many people talking about it, and then, like other, apparently Italian FBI, whatever they got going on over there, is just shit. Like this isn't the only story. There's like a bunch that they fucking, like someone has an instinct. Like that's all it was. One guy, one of the detectives or something, had an instinct. Look at her. Yeah. She doesn't care that her friend died. Look at that dumb. That's how they sound. like a fucking random Southern guy in Michigan. Or
she don't care. What are you doing here? You live here? Southern guy in Italy. How did you?
Well, I'm the best detective they had in Tennessee.
I don't know Italian.
Yeah. She fucking did it.
Yeah. She did it with the meatballs. So the guy's in prison now?
Yeah, so then that guy's back out now. So he already went in, and he served like a short time. I forgot exactly, and she brought it up on.
So you just murder someone, and they're like, eh.
Yeah, she brought it up, and she's like, this guy's just allowed to live. And then also another thing, she goes, if you look at this is another thing that like the FBI did nothing. They did no work on this guy's DNA, finding this guy or nothing. She's like, because they end up finding out this like way later that he did some like criminal shit in another country just leading up to this murder.
This guy is cool. This is a cool guy.
And then what's very crazy is that could have been her. It could have been Amanda. Yeah. A different timing. That guy meets her and talks to her.
And then the documentary would have been Alyssa Harris's.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. Whatever her roommate's name is. We don't even know the name. That's crazy. We never know the name of the victim.
Yeah, so she said it a few times. I still don't remember because all I can remember is Amanda Knox because that was all. And that's another thing she was talking about. She's like, what? I'm the only one. People are only talking about me.
Yeah.
When we have this guy who murdered people. People need to talk about his name.
Is she still with her boyfriend?
No.
Wow.
No. The guy's over there serving up pizzas. Do you think anyone in Italy finally made deep dish and they're like, this is so much better?
That's pretty good.
This is great.
I don't know. They probably don't. They probably just don't. Look, it's too much. It's too much bread, or too much dough or something. I don't know.
I don't think Italians have ever said it's too much bread.
Yeah, you're probably right. Or it's too much. I don't know. They have pizza. Their pizzas are different, but everyone's pizza is different. It's like, we got New York slice pizza or New York style is like different from like Chicago deep dish.
Yep.
And then like the Italy ones are like.
And then Detroit even changed. Like the deep dish isn't just like Chicago's.
Yeah, Detroit's like, we're gonna do our own thing.
Yeah.
If you come over here, we have a gun.
First off, you're dead if you're here, and then secondly, if you survived being dead and came back, you're dead. You can eat a slice. You can't call those slices.
What
I feel like a slice sounds like a New York slice.
See,
you can't have a slice of Detroit deep dish.
I like deep dish pizza. Too much.
But you hate it. You want to move.
When I see pictures of video of like New York slices, I'm like that looks better to me. I want to get like a nice slice, like sometimes
nice floppy piece.
Dude, it's just like
you want a Ninja Turtle slice.
It's just like I'm taking a bite. And it's just this. I'm like, this is heavy as fuck.
I like it.
One piece, like, dude, I don't know. To me, it's like I don't know. I like getting like
I think that Chicago's even is the heavier. Just because I've been there once, but been there a couple times, and it's that they're heavier than Detroit style.
Like deep dish.
So I just had Nicky's in downtown Detroit, and it's just to me, it's like a good thick pizza. It's not fucking monstrosity, but I've had. I can't remember exactly where. Someplace in Chicago, it was like, you get like a cheeseburger where you're like, I can't get my mouth around this.
Yeah.
That's like how this pizza was.
I don't know. I like the idea of getting a slice.
Yeah.
Like a slice or two. Like that to me is cooler than like,
you give me a slice.
I'll get this deep dish and then I'll eat one piece. I'm like, well, now I got this whole leftover pizza.
No, yeah.
It's gonna take 3 families to eat.
So yeah, it's 4 pieces. You eat 2. And I'm like, I can't have another one.
Yeah.
So much.
It's so much, dude. It's a lot. It's too much. I don't have anything.
You got nothing? I mean, you don't have to have anything. We can literally ask questions. Comedy was, I don't know, I think this all the time is just like.
Well, let's ask Amanda Knox.
That's Amanda Knox. What do you think is comedy?
What do you think? Alice Feeney, is that Mr. Feeney?
Could be. Rock, paper, scissors, bitch.
There's so many books in this house.
That book should be titled Rock, Paper, Scissors, Bitch.
How many books? So how many people that own like a million books like reread their books? It's like having all the books just like a look at me, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't know.
Look at all of
I feel like if I read a book, I'm like, because I feel like there's always like the book people are always reading a new book. It's like when do you have time to like I'm gonna reread this book now. I feel like that doesn't happen too often. So you have like 4 books that you reread, and then all the rest you're like, this is just to put on display. So when people come over, and then they come in the house, and you go, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Yeah, these are all my books. Yeah, I read a lot.
And then she walks everybody to my section. She's like, he's only got 1 shelf, and he's opened 2 of the books.
Yeah. He hasn't even read them. He just opens
I
them.
know. I do a lot of charity work when I got married to this guy.
Dude, books are fucking lame. Video games are cooler. I don't even care. Like, don't even act like.
Well, that's what
I fucking read. Oh, great. Have fun. Guess what I do, dude? Video games is cooler. So what do video games do? Do video games? I mean, there's reading in video games.
Dude, troubleshooting. You're troubleshooting.
Dude, depending on what game you're playing.
Problem
solving, eye-hand coordination, or hand-eye coordination. Then you can play with friends, so you're socializing. What are you doing in a book? I'm alone. You're just reading like a fucking loser.
I was alone all day, and I just read a bunch of pages, and I didn't learn anything because it was about a woman being chased.
And like, let's say like you start a show or a movie that like you end up not liking, and it's like 10, 15, 20 minutes. You're like, like you read a book like halfway through, and you're like, I don't really like this. You wasted a lot of time.
Yeah, that's a lot of time to waste.
Come on.
I'd be outraged.
Throw all the books away. I'm just
I'd be outraged.
I'm anti-book now.
I read some cool World War II book and didn't finish it, but
and by read, I mean read 2 pages. And I was like, well, this is a lot.
Wow.
This is a lot to unpack. I'm going to put this away for later, and that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it would have been longer ago. Sorry, everybody. But then I
Bin Laden ago?
Yeah, that was Bin Laden ago. And however many years that is. How long did he reign supreme, you know?
I don't know. How long did who would
Houshmandzadeh?
win? Who would win in a fight? Bin Laden
or T.J. Houshmandzadeh
or Hitler? Well, T.J. Houshmandzadeh would win. He's an
he'd
athlete.
fuck them up. Yeah, he made it to the NFL 6th rounder, I think, something. So Bin Laden might, but wasn't he pretty old when they finally got to him and fucked his shit up? But he was crafty, in and out of caves.
Dude, I love
Hitler's angry, but he didn't have the range. I think if they showed his reach, it's like 58.
Yeah, he was small, probably.
His reach is short. He had the reach of a 5'1" guy.
He's a small man.
Small dick, small paintings.
I love in the NFL, like, they all act so tough. And I'm like, I mean, just because you're, like, athletic and you play football doesn't mean you know how to fight.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen
they want to do wild swings. It's like you'd be murdered.
I know. I've seen some of them, like, punch, and I'm like, I mean, if you actually, like, fought somebody who knows how to fight, you get destroyed.
Nowadays, it's crazy because a lot of these guys do take boxing classes. Them more so than before because like MMA and boxing and all these things got so popular. So some of these motherfuckers do take these classes and they're monsters.
Oh, that, like one safety, that white safety on the Ravens was like I think he was like some boxing like champion, or he had like golden gloves or something.
Was this the older one or Eric Weddle?
No, he's older. He was like he like played with like Ed Reed.
Oh, I can't remember his name.
He was like,
damn.
I think he was bald. I can't remember either.
John Rickard.
John Retard.
Do you know their fullback, the Ravens' current fullback? His name is it's John Picard, or is it Rickard or Richard?
Is it Rickard. Captain Jean-Luc Picard?
It's Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Captain Jean Picard of the U.S. Do you remember that?
He's the heaviest fullback. How much do you think that he weighs?
260. What? That's too heavy. Why are you that heavy as a fullback?
Dude, he's 307.
What? Why?
Dude, and then when you hear that, and then take another glance, because people do not focus on fullbacks, and then you look at him and you're like, this is nuts.
Yeah.
They took a guard, and they're like, he's kind of shifty, but he's a little too short maybe to be a guard. Maybe his arms aren't as long. It's like, all right, well, we'll turn him into a ball in front of the running back and have him just fucking steamroll and just crash faces.
Well, then all the running backs got injured, so they were like, well.
He could still never get the ball. Like, there are a lot of teams where it's like, look, running backs are getting hurt. We'll put Mike Tolbert. Oh, boom, he's a running back now. Like, they can do stuff like that. But
or they do that run where the running back goes outside, and then the fullback just does like a 1 yard.
Yeah. Yeah, it just tries to fall forward. That's the job.
Yeah.
Fall forward and you
get a yard. Yeah. The Fridge from Chicago.
Yeah.
What was his name?
The Fridge. Wasn't he
that big guy? He was like
he was a
defensive player, but they had him run a ball.
Which is awesome. I want that more.
But they called him the Fridge. Mm-hmm. I can't remember his name, his real name. He played with like Walter Payton.
John Runyon? No. As a lineman.
That was a guy.
He's a real guy, but his son, I think John Runyon.
Around up there.
I think John Runyon Jr.'s in the
NFL. John Gagnon.
John
Gagnon. Ain't getting nothing out of that.
Hey, little baby. Hey, on the subject of sports and football, the fucking I don't think I said this yet. No, the Lions. First time ever they started a season. Wait, maybe I did. I hate myself, but I think it's the first time ever. I don't think I know, but I just think I might have said it already. But first time ever they started a season. First two games allowed 35 points at least, both games.
I don't think you said that.
That's how they started the season. And then,
I mean,
I know the league is getting more score happy.
Oh, I know.
Rules and all that, but yikes.
I feel like every year
there's a new record we break.
Not even that.
Negative break.
Every
records.
year the Lions season starts, and no matter how good or bad people think we're going to be, the season still, people are like, I'm like, are you never like going to get used to it?
I feel like me and you this year are the most ever.
Jordan
is bringing the house down.
Bringing the house down with her feet. Yeah, she's a stomper girl. There's a few girls in this world. They're called stompers.
You got stompers and you got tiptoes.
Yeah.
If I was a girl, I'd be a tiptoe.
They're not.
I'd be a ballerina. I'd be twirling.
They're not light on their toes. They walk on their heels. So basically, if they were a cornerback, they would, because they're on their heels. You know what I mean? They wouldn't be able to shift and cover.
Did you have Jordan's a cornerback? She's dropping immediately. Now she just lint rolled her entire body, and I was putting her body onto the cat tower. Great idea, great plan.
Wait, are you leaving?
Good job. She can't hear this.
Is she leaving? Oh, okay. I was gonna say why?
Talk. Jeez.
I thought you were lint rolling and then staying home, because that's insane.
I've done that just because I'm like, I'm eating it right now.
Well, also, first of all, don't change in clothes that you need to lint roll and stay home. That's one rule that I have in my house. So when I get home, this is changing immediately, and then I'm putting on clothes where I don't care. Yeah. I mean, I don't want hair all over me.
That's like Rick Glassman. He does that because of ants.
Did I have ants at my house, man?
Kill them or something. I don't know. I'm doing a podcast.
Eat them.
I'm not gonna kill ants.
Feed them to Diesel.
Days.
Food.
Good job, Drew.
Drew.
Come on.
You fat ass. Dude, I have ants in my house. Let me tell you about my ant story.
I don't think we haven't had them in forever.
So, carpenter ants are like the big ones, you know?
Ugh.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's it, right? Anyway, so with big ants, we would see them randomly. So I bought these things called. I went to.
What time is it, please? She's got to go, so I'm gonna do this. Do you need me to finish? Please throw away the food.
Is there a lot of them? How many? Count. 50!
Okay, it wasn't like when you're outside and you see
All right, Cory, talk about ants, please.
Holy shit. Well, I can say I've never had 50 ants. I would see like 4 at the most. But it would be like random times. So I bought these things called ant. So I went to the hardware store to get ant traps. And I didn't see ant traps. There's called ant baits. And I was like, what the hell? So I'm like Googling. And it was like ant baits versus ant traps. And I was like, ant baits are said to be better because there's a little, talking to the people. Hey, people. They're better because they have a little chemical in the little reservoir. So the ants go in there and they go, bah, 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 and then they go back to their little families. And then their families eat it all too. And then all the ants die. It's crazy going on. They're getting the ants. Everyone can hear me whispering, but they can't. I don't know if they can. I got the cans on. Well, I would talk about the ants, but I want Christy to hear my answer. I don't think I've ever told my ant story. So, how did the ants get in the house? We got a breach. We got ant breach in the house. Actually, I don't think I've told you about my ant problem. Me and Jen have been dealing with this ant problem for like months. Yeah. It's not like insane. She said 50 ants. I've probably seen total 50, maybe, not even. But that's a lot. Anywho,
Love you.
So I would talk about the ants. I feel like Christy's got a story, and he's gonna come back while I'm telling you guys the story, and then he's gonna be like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And then I'm gonna have to retell the story, and you guys don't want to hear the stories twice. What'd you hear?
Said you've been dealing with the problem.
Yeah, so he lied.
Dealing with the problem. You said it wasn't 50, but blah blah blah.
Yeah, but it said more of how I went to the store to get ant traps. I was like, oh, I'm gonna kill the ants, and then I saw these things called ant baits. Yeah, they're not traps, and I was like, there's no traps, and I was like, what? And then I looked online, and people were like, oh no, ant baits are better, and I was like, really? So I was reading, and ant baits. They have there's like a little chemical and like they go inside. It's like a little plastic house, and they go inside. Yeah. And then they eat the little chemical, and then they go back to like where they are in the house, and then all the other ants in they're wherever all eat it too from them, and then they all die.
Nice.
So like there's like 8 of them, and you place them all strategically like where you see ants, and then. Yeah, then they slowly just disappear. So yeah, we had big ants. I kept seeing them. We're like, dude, what? This is annoying. And then
turn them into zombies.
I haven't seen them in a long time. So I was like, okay. And then me and Jen started seeing smaller ants.
Yeah.
And we were like, what the hell? Are these like the babies? But then now I haven't seen those in a long time. So I think these baits are doing the trick. Because they go in there and they're like, ooh, this is good. And then they leave.
That's sweet.
Yeah, pretty good. But I think another thing, there has to be like a little crack somewhere where they like get in.
Yeah, you know? But also like that's what happens. So basically, what I just found was like Drew was eating these donuts that had nuts on them, and there was just several donut crumbs and nuts all over the floor over there. And so I guess that's what happens if you do that. Like I think it was like when I first moved into this house, so forever ago. There were like some food over here by the stove, and I didn't notice that because it was like kind of tucked away, these crumbs. Yeah. But I saw a couple ants, and I was like, what the fuck? And the same sort of thing as her, but not as anxious driven. Yeah. And
I see the ants like that.
So I moved the thing, and then I was like, God damn it, I got to clean all these ants. Or kill these ants and stuff, and yeah, it was just because a bunch of crumbs. I thought I like had an ant problem, and then I just like killed a couple, and then threw away the crumbs and cleaned the area, and then I'm just like, I haven't seen ants ever since. Mm-hmm. It's like, so at least here it's been like, just don't have a house full of crumbs, and then I don't see ants.
I will. I'm a pretty messy eater, so it's hard for me to be like, yeah, don't fucking do that, guys.
It's hard for me to get rid of ants because
see what I do. What I do is I eat my food and then I go, and I move the coffee table up from the couch, and then here comes the dog, and he walks over, and he's just eating, and then I'm like, thank you. He just clears it up. It's
cool to have a dog cleaner.
He just clears it all up for me. It's pretty nice. So I can be as messy as I want. I was one time eating popcorn, and he literally was. I was in my computer room, and I was just eating it, and then he was laying under me because, like, you just drop a piece here and there, and it would just on the floor, and then I just hear under me. he's like, this is amazing.
Dude, dogs know what's up.
I think she needs to do some breathing exercises.
Yeah, but dude, that's always how. I mean. It's like when she's on her way to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't want to get into it, but
I was at work. I'll keep it in the same vein, but I'll put it on me. I was at work, and this lady I work with, she was like, it was me, this other guy, and her, and we were like, we're all gonna have sex, right? No. And then she was like, you guys just like, she's like, you seem so like calm and like nothing bothers you. Yeah. And then I was like, no, I mean, I don't let this place, because like she like sees me. That's
like what was happening.
Like, dude, like we
had a similar conversation.
We worked there so long that we like slowly learned. Oh, don't give a fuck. Like, I don't give a fuck about that place. Like, if it's busy, hey, we need to do this. I like, okay, whatever. I just do whatever. I'm like, if it's crazy, I don't care. So she's like, oh, you guys just seem so like calm and like nothing bothers you. I was like, oh, things bother me. Like outside of here. I mean, there's things that I'm like, dude, I'm freaking out.
I get ants.
But when I'm at work, like this place, I'm like, you can't let your place of work fucking stress you like that.
No.
Dude, there's like managers and like supervisors at my work where I'm like, you are going to die because of this. You're going to fucking have a stroke. You're going to have a heart. Dude, there was already there's a supervisor at my work who did have a stroke. Yeah. And now he's like, he's like, he like realizes, he goes, oh, I don't care anymore. And he like doesn't give a shit. He's like, I don't care about anything. Dude, that's like the best way.
Yep.
Fuck this. They don't care about you. Why are you going to drive yourself crazy, man?
So I always had this in like some certain jobs where we had like an issue and somebody like lost a part we like shipped. And so then they're asking me about it, and I did my troubleshooting, and I go, that's what I can do is I look up things this way, and then now it's on this carrier or whatever, it's on somebody else.
Right.
And then they're like trying to like, hey, well, we got to find out more ways. And then I go, and at one point, it's just like, I verbally said a few times at this job, dude, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Yeah. Like, I've said something like that. And then, so now they took that as like they're the customer. I'm supposed to like find, well, they weren't around, but the other guy I'm working with is like, hey, we can't just tell the customer we don't care. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. But I'm like, I mean, what am I did it. We did it.
Yeah, it's no longer my problem.
So it's like, so it's great to be, I don't know. I guess it's different for like working.
Well, if you're working with like customer service is different. I'm just saying, don't vocalize to somebody who.
I've gotten people pissed at me because of stuff like that, because I'm too chill, and I'm like, I don't know. What do you want me? There's nothing to do here.
Yeah.
Can't do anything. I go,
let's
take a breath.
Those people that
continue on.
But like those people that are pissed at you are probably just going insane. They care too much. Where it's like, I mean, I think there's a difference for people who are lazy and don't care, but I mean, I'm gonna do everything I'm supposed to do and can do, and like I'm a good worker and I'm gonna do it all. But I am not gonna push myself to a limit for some people who don't care about me. And then like you don't see anything extra for it. They maybe an attaboy.
Yeah.
Like, dude, my manager's like, my work will fucking take advantage of a good worker. Oh, you're gonna work overtime like crazy? Come on in. And it's like they don't actually care about you. Yep. Like they're just like, oh, you're a good worker. Let's try to use and abuse. And dude, and people learn, and then they go, oh, well, I'm done doing overtime. Yep. And dude, and then it's like, yeah, we need overtime, and nobody wants to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude,
that's what's going on in my place.
Yeah,
a little bit.
They just don't. These companies, dude, government, private sector, it doesn't matter. They don't learn. They don't know how to like treat people good. They're like, we're just worried about our bottom line, and we're just worried about having like good service or whatever. That we don't care about our employees. Fucking bullshit.
Yeah, basically your conversation with that guy or whoever, like. This guy Tim in my work, he drives up to me and he goes, "Hey man," he goes, "I haven't had a drink of water all day." He like said something like that to me, and I went, like, I was like, I actually didn't hear him. You know how when someone says something and then you don't actually, it doesn't compute, and then they go away, and then you're like, oh, he said that. So I like didn't. I was like, drop. I just heard drop. I was like, what the fuck did he say? And he drove away, and then I was like, oh. And I'm like, get some fucking water. He gives a fuck. Then because like at our work, like another trucker's backing up. It's like, hold on a minute. So I do.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
And he goes. So I talked to him later, and he's like, dude, I don't know how you stay level-headed. He like asked me, he goes, whatever you're doing, and I'm like, dude, it's fucking weed.
Yeah.
No, and I go, hey, you. I go, dude. I go, they don't care.
Yeah.
I go, our supervisors right over here don't care. I go, the top branch manager guy clearly doesn't care. He's not in here. He's not hiring any more people. I go, so what? Like whatever. And then he's like, well, he goes, well, I'm trying to. Yourself. He goes, well, like, he's supposed to leave at a certain time of the day, and he's like, well, I don't want to stay over. And I'm like, then you just do what you can, and then the time hits, and like maybe to me this is like what I've been doing. I'm like, you could stay over a little bit, shows that like you cared a little bit. At least in our job, it's like half hour. It's like that's not a big deal. And then leave. There's still work to be done, you know. Just let someone know, hey, this is all still. And I know it, like it sucks because we have like a night guy, and you're kind of like screwing that guy. But him also, you don't have to do it all.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna hire more people if we all keep magically getting everything done,
dude. That's exactly the same thing.
If everything keeps working out, they're going to go, well, I guess we can cut another guy.
Yeah. Dude, that's like the same thing that's going on at my work.
Everywhere.
Like they do all these little
of America
things
right now.
They cut people. Because we have like these things called like time cards. So like if those look good, then like at headquarters, then at like, they're just like, oh, well, their time cards are good. They're not like getting a huge wait time. So, oh, okay, it's good. And it's like, if we just keep doing that, they're going to go, well, they don't need more people. And then everyone's working like crazy.
Did you just realize that we were talking about little tiny ants, and then now we're talking about us being we're worker ants.
Well, dude, yeah, we are we're worker ants, and nobody gives a shit,
ants,
man.
But we're stressing. Don't stress. Just be like, hey, my time's up today. I did my 8 hours. I'm going to go play video games.
My message
go watch a movie.
Don't do a bad job. Just do work and do your shit, but don't drive yourself insane.
This is the time where I leave now.
And I would even argue like the stay over don't. I mean, I guess
I know.
I guess some like, mandatory overtime is like if it's mandatory, then you're like whatever. But like if it's not mandatory,
they're acting like it's mandatory lately. They're like that's how they act. But
what if you said why can't?
It's like they have it like an open door.
Well, they need to hire more people.
Yeah, but they go, well, see what John's up to. You know, maybe stay over. And then, so that's like the thing. We'll be like, hey, John, how you doing? He's like, oh, I'm caught up. And then you go, all right. But then if he's got 20 pallets laying there and nothing's been checked in or whatever, it's like, help him out real quick. And sometimes that's not even 30 minutes. It's like a little thing. But then, yeah, like me, my department, just flooded with stuff. Like, they're like, we need 14 different shipments sent out, like, today. And I'm like, I can't even. Impossible to get to these.
Yeah.
And then I just go, I'll check it out tomorrow. And somehow, I know this is like some Jesus faith bullshit people do. Like I worked with a guy who did this before, but sometimes shit just like works out. I'm like, I'll do it the next day. And then somehow the next day is like a slow day. And I'm like, oh, I got caught up.
Yeah.
And it never piles up really too high. It's been piled up pretty high before, but I don't know. Blah, 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 worker ants. I had to tell you about. I'm a fucking movie star, dude. I'm in a movie. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in a fucking huge movie. All right, it's gonna be 5-star. It's gonna be a Rotten Tomatoes 98, and now I can quit. I can quit my worker ant job. I'm a movie star. Now, me and the lady did like one scene with our friend who filmed a bunch of porns, and we did one with her. And is he serious? I don't know if he's serious. And it was interesting. And Drew also had one. And it's all like, so our friend Charlotte is this character. Oh, well, she's like, I think the thing is like, there's like 2 main characters. It's her and this guy, Wyatt. I think he plays Wyatt.
Oh.
I don't know his real name.
Oh, I know a Wyatt.
Yeah, they're bad. Wyatts are bad.
Not bad. He's just.
Is it Watts or Wyatt? What's going on?
He's just kind of an idiot.
I'd be JJ Wyatt if I was So it's like the 10-year class reunion from like 2011. So it's like we're all like technically playing.
Like high school,
like
or people.
Like we graduated in 2011, and this is the year we're having our 10-year graduation party. And so Charlotte is having a lot of awkward like run-ins with people she hasn't seen in forever. So it actually works for like me and Jordan and Drew and all these other people. Not all, but a bunch of us. It's like we're not actors.
Yeah.
We never even tried for a moment to do any acting. So it actually works because we're so awkward that even if we mess up or stutter or, you look around and then you say your line, it kind of falls into place of like how awkward things can be with like a class reunion. Because like we were talking last night, like think about how many people from your graduating class, like the people you still see typically are the people you've wanted to see. And then it's like all these other people, it's like, well, not really close with them. I don't really talk to them. Like I don't have to catch up with one guy I talked to for 2 minutes in math in 10th grade. I don't have to talk to this guy. So anyways,
what if they edited it and then they got to your part and they went, we got to cut this.
Dude,
we got to cut this completely.
So that's like everything that's going on is like, so I had like a week and I should have like went over the lines and then I just didn't.
Yeah.
One time while I was driving, I'd stop at like a stoplight and I like looked at a line and then I was just like mouth it out. That's like the extent.
I'm gay.
Of what I did. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is going to be horrible. And then, also, I hate myself. So like we're, leading up to it, Jordan and I are like, oh yeah, cats peed on a thing, like another thing. Oh yeah, by my tools I was telling you about. I had like this tool bag. One of the cats, I don't know, peed on it. So me and her are already, like we argued a bit because I was like mad about the cats, and she's like, don't be yelling at the cats, and I was like, fuck these cats.
Don't be yelling at the cats.
Kicking the cats out the house. And so like we argued a bit, and I'm like, great, now I'm like in a bad mood. But then I was also, I didn't think about this till later. So just keep that in mind that we had a little like argument beforehand. Our scene is it's Jordan and Charlotte, and they're like taking a selfie, and then she takes it and goes, oh, let me turn the flash off. And then they like take another one. I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, so we're Kayla and Kevin. She's Margot. That's how people say Margot, like Margot, right? People pronounce it Margot. So Margot
got me all crazy.
Got me all hot and bothered, and so, Margot, them two, they're talking or whatever, and then I don't know, they start talking about some shit, and she's like, yeah, sometimes, they're talking about like, oh yeah, I'm married, and then like Charlotte's character Margot is like, doesn't she's not married, and like that's like the common theme is that a bunch of people are married. They're wearing because we wear name tags. I actually did at first. So before any like films or scenes are being filmed, people are wearing like name tags, and I'm like, why would we wear? Because I thought it was like so that if people could introduce themselves to people there, and I was like, the fuck, I don't get it. And I just like later on my own, just like staring and thinking about it for way too long, and I'm like, oh, we wear the name tags so people recognize people at the class reunion. That's why people wear name tags. I was sitting there going, oh, it's just so like we know who we're working with or dealing with. Idiot. So,
don't worry, we'll edit the name tags out.
Well, I realized it before we started filming, but still, like before we started filming, I'm walking around the place and I'm like, dude,
Randy? They're like, what?
Didn't even think that mine says Kevin Robertson. Like,
oh, it does.
That's not me. So like
it had your last name. So
yeah, and then like,
was that on purpose?
They just did it. Jordan's Kayla Robertson, and then Drew's gay guy Renaud, and then and so Charlotte's like, oh, you're married? Oh, that's cool. And then Jordan improv this like the first time we did it, so we weren't even like filming yet. This is like one of the things because I know all the lines, and Jordan grabs my arm and she's like, yeah, look at his ring, and I was like, I want to do that, but like I didn't want to be a total asshole. This isn't my thing. I'm not going to roll in and go, look, I changed a couple of lines.
Look, I'm going to do what I want.
Look, I've watched enough of Larry David Curb Your Enthusiasm. Let's just work with it. and then Charlotte's like, all right, what are we? This is supposed to be a 5-minute clip, and you just raged for like 10. I'm like, I was in the bathroom, the guy was taking a shit, and I heard him say the N-word.
Someone's saying
that's that episode. It's Nick from New Girl says the N-word. N-word? He says the N-word in the bathroom. On Curb Your Enthusiasm. So Jordan goes, yeah, but sometimes I'm right there, stuffing my face because that's what I'm supposed to be doing with the apps and zerds. And which I legitimately ate too many because we just filmed several times, several takes, and I just keep, because I'm like, I'm not gonna fake a bite and I just eat it. So I'm eating all these like wieners, little pigs in a blanket, and shit that I don't even know. So Jordan goes, sometimes I miss being, like, at her character, sometimes I miss being single. And I go, babe, what? And then she goes, oh my God, because we're supposed to be an annoying couple, which also works because we both suck. And she goes, oh my God, I'm just kidding. And then she's like got like Alexa hands going on, and then we kiss. I didn't even think about this after. I'm like, that's kind of crazy that like I've never done any, like even for like a moment acting, and then now I'm
a full-blown movie star.
But I'm doing a kiss. Like I know it's the person I'm already with, but still, it's like I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
I wasn't thinking about it.
Somebody else.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Jordan, give me in a different kissing scene.
Give me in a different scene.
And so
kiss.
She give me in a scene with other people. And let's do the same lines. And then so she goes, oh my God, I'm just kidding. We kiss. And then so dude, my line right after we kiss is supposed to be oh, these ball things are so good. Like the one I'm eating. These ball things are so good. I think there's blue cheese in here. Try it. Like trying to get Jordan to eat one. But that's so weird coming off of, I was stuffing my face, and then she'll come to kiss me, and I'm like, oh. And then so I kiss her, and then I got to go. And it's weird, dude. One time, because of that, because it is a weird thing. It's like not very natural to come off of a kiss and go, try this food I didn't just have in my mouth. I had your face in my mouth. Yeah. Like, so it was a little kind of awkward. So because there's one time I kind of stared off, dude. It's so funny because there's people behind the cameras and stuff. There's like a guy who knows all the lines. There's like a couple other guys that assist. There's like a boom guy on the ground holding the big fucking dick mic. Yeah. And then, so one guy, I think his name is Frank. He was pretty funny. He goes, like signals like the food, because I could literally, dude, there was a moment where I just stared, and I already did. We already did the lines a few times, and I just like kissed her, and then I was like, I'm looking over towards them, just like eating, because I'm like waiting, because they have a bunch of lines, and I was just like, oh, they're not doing their line, and then and this is like so quickly, and then I just look over, and Frank's like, and then I was like, oh, these ball things are so good, you know. I'm exaggerating right now, but still, like, it is a weird thing to go from that. And then she goes, I think there's blue cheese in here. She goes, I hate blue cheese. And I go, I thought that was goat cheese. And I didn't know this, because the whole time I'm like, this is all horrible. And then they end up talking about some Lamborghini they saw in the parking lot, and who do they think has the Lamborghini, whose is it? And then I just chime back in from munching on appetizers, and I go, my money, because Jordan goes, my money is on Cole Richards. He's deep into cryptocurrency, whatever the fuck she says. And then I go,
my money's on Sarah Tipton.
I go, my money's on the nerdy girl that got hot. So like everything feels so stupid to me. I'm like, I feel like this is dumb. Yeah. Everything I'm doing is dumb. And so then the film crew or whatever, we're in the next, and the Wyatt guy, we're all like in the next room after we were done filming. And I went in there and I was like, oh, it was horrible. And like, they're taking my mic, and I was like, oh, you guys are probably just listening. I was in the other room talking shit about how bad I was on every line, and because I was mic'd, I had a thing behind me, and then it was like on my tit, and he's like, oh no, I wasn't listening. And then the Frank guy was like, dude, he goes, it was so funny every time when you went, thought that was goat cheese. He's like, it was fucking great. And I was like, oh, sweet. And then, because I was like, I thought everything was bad. I thought I paused too long, like the time I was stared off. And I was like, and then he goes, no, dude, it was perfect. It was totally awkward. You totally seemed like a guy who, like, she's bringing me here. I don't really want to be here. And then I go.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, method acting? He's like, that's why it worked. And he's like, you were method acting. Because, like, I mean, I didn't 100% really want to be there. Yeah. And so he goes, dude, that worked. Because you kind of looked like you didn't. You were just hanging out. And then I would be like, oh, the hot girl. Oh, my money's on the nerdy girl. They got hot. I gotta try this blue cheese thing. I thought that was goat cheese. I'm fucking out of here. Like, that just looked like a...
I'm out of here.
Douchebag. But I was excited to tell you that.
Well,
the goat cheese thing.
Now that you're famous, don't forget about us. Don't you forget about me. Well,
gay
dude,
guys.
I don't know. Acting would be crazy.
But dude, then I got pumped. After we did it, I was like, I want to do it again. I want to do it again.
I'm an actor now, baby.
No, I was like, I want to do it again.
You go audition for shit, and they're like,
this guy's horrible. I was like, I
kind of want to act. You're like, yeah, once.
I was like, I kind of want to do that line. I kind of want to do that again and mess with it. Like how you see like I don't know, like 40-Year-Old Virgin and stuff. Like they just like Paul Rudd just keeps going. Like, because one of the takes, they're just having fun with it, and like they're saying dumb shit, and dumb lines.
Yeah, you have to go through a lot before you become Steve Carell, improving on The Office.
Yeah,
dude, I'm right there, man.
Dude. But I felt like that's what Jordan did, and then, dude, I didn't tell you about Drew's. So Drew didn't really go through his lines much either, and so I was like, dude, because this is how I felt. So I felt like I was doing him a benefit. I was like. During it, I was like, fuck, we should have went over this a couple times. I felt like it would have been a little smoother. But maybe it fits in the awkward thing like I was talking about, like how awkward it's supposed to be at a class reunion. But so me and Drew went out to the greenhouse. There's a greenhouse outside this house. And I'm like, dude, we can go over some lines. And I just kept like saying,
he was like, someone's house?
It's like a Trenton house you can like rent or whatever. Okay. And so we just started going over lines, and I'm being Margot, and because he's having a conversation with me, and he's like, yeah, I'm in real estate now, and then he's like asking her how the movies are going or whatever, and he's like, yeah, and then he's like, Drew added this in, he said this to me when we were in the greenhouse. I was like, all right, whatever, but he goes, yeah, I thought like you might see my face on a few benches or whatever. So, like, in their conversation, we're in the other room, and, quiet on the set, sound rolling, and everyone does this. Because everyone that is in the other room, like me, Frank, Alex, there's like a bunch of people in there, and then we're all going, we're just like, just doing facial stuff because you got to be silent. And then, Alyssa or someone's always almost like breaking just because we're in the other room and we don't want to fuck up the sound. That sound catches everything. There was a train from like miles away, and he was like, oh, there's a train. And he just told the sound guy told everyone, he's got headphones like this, and he's holding the boom. Yeah. And he's like, everyone stop. And then like restarted after the train went by. But so, yeah, it's funny to hear Drew in there. And then, so they did it a couple times, right? One of the times, so every time, obviously, because it's the same scene.
Like, flip it through. Where's this fucking bench line?
Yeah, so that was cool, too, is that, like, Charlotte was like you know the gist of it. Yeah. It felt really cool because it's like, this is the gist of it, and it's like, pretty much say that, and then, but it can be in your own words. Mm-hmm. You don't have to plagiarize this, So they didn't. I forgot the before this. It's like no, you can have a space, whatever the hell.
This.
So, it's just funny in there. So at the end of their scene, Drew's like, "Oh, I got the my wife's waiting on me. I gotta go, or whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, I talked to all the cool people already." Like. And then, like, that's, like, his line, and she's like, oh, bye. His name's Judd. Bye, Judd. And then Judd's face is on benches. So he starts walking away, and, like, one of the times he changed it. He goes, my wife and kids are in the car. Because the whole scene.
In the car.
The whole scene to us, at least the people outside of the room, because we were, like, talking about it in between sets, or in between, like, fucking go time or whatever.
Go time.
And then
goatee time.
Like a couple of them were like, "Ooh, it's getting spicy," because they're like, "Oh, here's my number anyways." Like it was like kind of like maybe they were hitting at each other, but then he says like he's going to his wife, and then one time he's his wife and kids, and a bunch of us are like, "You totally blew it. You can't talk about kids when you're trying to get with a different chick or whatever." But that was one he added in, I think on accident. I think it just like came off the tongue easy. Because he's supposed to like, my wife's waiting on me. I gotta go, and he's like, "Oh, wife and kids." And then
I got the whole family in the van.
But I don't know. I'll probably give Drew shit today about the benches line, and we can mess with him. And Judd. Be like, "Whoa. Hey Judd, seen your face on a couple benches." I meant to talk about the acting thing even earlier, and to be done already, you know. So,
well, you're an actor.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
That kind of fit to what I was saying. I wish I talked about it earlier.
A little bit. I just hate it because it's, I don't know, it's just one of those internet things. And I'm like, it's overdone.